Let's go to this developing story. 7 people have been charged for the Krugersdorp gang rape. They appeared briefly at the Krugersdorp Magistrate's court. They face multiple counts of rape, aggravated robbery and contravention of the Immigration Act. At least 2 are thought to be minors. The accused are part of a group of 81 suspects arrested a day after the gang rape of 8 women in West Village last month. They were part of a production crew shooting a music video at an abandoned mine dump. The matter has been postponed to the 28th of September for further investigations. SABC News reporter Hasina Gori was in court and joins us now. Hasina, sure, very disturbing to hear 2 of those are minors. What do we know about all the 7?
So what we know so far is that they're from various different African countries, speaking a variety of different languages from Shona to Ndebele. We can't really identify their names at this point, as well as any markers that can identify them specifically. That was a court ruling, as well as show any photos. But it's also a rape case now, so we cannot even name them until they've pleaded. We know 2 of them are believed to be minors. The one the state alleges could be an adult. He's 18 years of age, according to their knowledge. However, according to him, he says he's 15 years of age. But what we've seen in a lot of these cases is many not knowing, from the many that were arrested, their actual age, when they were born, and whether or not they have proper documentation. So tomorrow, that accused number 6 will appear once again, and he will be taken for an age assessment as well as radiology to determine whether or not he's an adult, because that will determine how he will be tried, whether as a juvenile in the child court or whether as an adult in a normal court proceedings. So this is what we've seen so far, and what we can say about these accused. It's uncertain yet whether they are illegal minors that were working in that area or not. I think as the proceedings continue, we'll get more sense of who these 7 are currently.
So, Hasina, I take it then that they will be separated, of course, now from the 8, the other 70-odd suspects who are also going to be facing contravention of the Immigration Act. So they are now going to be separated from this group.
So what we saw today, and that was one of the delays that happened in court this morning, was that the 2 matters had to be separated. So concurrently to this matter that we were sitting in, there was also that contravention of the Immigration Act, which the other 70 plus will also be now facing, also from their 20 of their minors as well. So that matter is now separate. But also tomorrow, a further 7 are expected to appear also in connection with the rape.
And there was quite a lot of talk, and I remember the last time you and I spoke, we were talking about issues around the identity parade and all of that. I know, of course, it's still early days, but sometimes details may be revealed in court. Do we know if it was the DNA processing that may have linked them, or an ID parade has already been done as well?
So we know that the ID parade has been confirmed to have been done yesterday, as of late last night. Early in the day, police told us it hadn't been done, but by late evening it was done, and that seems to be what's linked the 14 that are now going to be facing charges for the rape. 7 who appeared today, 7 who will appear tomorrow. It's also a reason why we saw a delay, because the state prosecutor had to now go through that docket and ensure that all the requisites were done before they could proceed with that rape charges being placed for these accused now.
I'm sure this, is not only a relief for those who are outside court, but I'm certain even for these young women as well, it definitely will be some welcome relief that, at least certain individuals have now been positively linked with this particular matter.
I think that's going to be something that I think the families will have some kind of ease that something is being done. I know that when we spoke with the ANC's Nomvula Mokonyane through the day, she did mention that they've been in contact with the family. We know that the police minister met with the family 2 days after the incident as well. So they are getting the social, psychological help and assistance that's needed. And I think this will be one step for them, that at least those that have perpetuated this crime can now be taken for justice, and justice can continue in this specific process.
And Hasina, you've also been covering the protests with the communities, and they also cite this particular issue as a precursor, saying that they've been talking about this for quite some time now, and they've decided that it's time to act. How did they receive the news outside court when they heard that there are now men that have been positively linked to this?
We spoke with the Mogale City Parliament, who's someone we've been speaking to quite extensively since this incident. Really also welcome relief from them. Some steps are being taken. some people are going to be held accountable. They can put faces to this. We can also now get a clear idea of who is, maybe behind these violent crimes, whether or not it's people acting as, illegal minors, or whether or not they are actually illegal minors that are perpetuating these crimes. And I think there's going to be a lot of information that comes out going forward that will assist with also just helping the crime issues in that specific area. This tragic incident has really highlighted a lot of the different issues, from immigration to the illegal mining, and just the level of crime that's been happening in that West Rand area. So hopefully going forward, it will, this momentum will now bring policy changes and more police visibility.
Especially for, if you listen to what that community had to say over the weekend. But let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for that. That's Hasina Gori, who's been watching developments in court for us. Now, 7 of the men have now been linked to this rape, this horrific rape of 8 women.